Yo, what is going on, Kangaroo Hunters? Earn with Todd here, and in this video, I'm actually going to be doing a review on the Kangaroo Tail EA entry robot, and the EA robot will allow you to enter Kangaroo Tails when you are not near your computer. So if you're a fan of EAs, you're going to want to watch this video. I'm going to show you how to program the Kangaroo Tail entry robot. But just real quick before we get into that, if you do not already have a free account on the kangaroohunter.com website, click the link down below in the video description. It's a 100% free website. There you will see my Kangaroo Tail Trading School video. It's about 28 minutes long, and like I said, it is 100% free. In fact, you don't even have to buy anything on the website. There's no form to fill out a credit card or anything like that. When I say free, I actually mean free, unlike a lot of these Forex trading gurus who offer free trading videos, but then have an upsell for like a $500 course. You're not going to see any of that. But enough of that. Let's go ahead, pull up some charts, and I'm going to show you how to program the Kangaroo Tail EA robot. Alright, so we got our chart open right here, and I'm going to go ahead and add the Kangaroo EA to the chart and show you all the options we have when we are programming this. So let's go over here and drag the Kangaroo robot over to a chart. Alright, so here we have the Kangaroo Tail EA box up here, and the first option I want to show you all is we can set this up for long and short. Only long, only short. So if you see that you are in a clear downtrend, you can have this set to only do bearish Kangaroo Tails. And vice versa, if you see it is in an uptrend and you're going to be gone for a couple hours, you may only want to do bullish Kangaroo Tails. But for this example, we will leave long and short on, and let's go over to the inputs tab. Now the first thing that you will want to program is the candle size ATR. Now when I'm normally trading Kangaroo Tails, I will have my candle size ATR on 0.25, and this will print more Kangaroo Tails compared to something if you do 1.25, which would capture more of the longer tails. So basically a good starting point is start this out on 0.25. This will show the shorter tail kangaroos, but if you only want to take the very best Kangaroo Tails, you could have this around between 1 or 1.25, like I said. But for starting out, definitely start with 0.25 and make that number higher as it fits you. So like this candle that we see right here, this printed on the Kangaroo Tail indicator, and I had that set for 0.25 ATR, and this was a US 30 candle that I actually just won. I'll actually have a video of the trade I just took while I was recording a earlier segment of this Kangaroo EA robot video, but 0.25 perfectly fine to start with. And then we have here, okay, entry, stop, and points. What this means is how many pips below or above do you want price to go on the next candle before the EA enters the trade for you. And let's just say for this example, since I'm on US 30 and the spread is 10 pips, I'm going to want to make sure this is at least on 10 pips, and this is in points. So you're going to want to do 100 for 10 pips. If it's only 1 pip, like if you're trading on Forex pairs, you would keep this on 10. But for US 30, we keep that on 100 for 10 pips. And then ideally, you want to wait for price to go below that a little bit. So for US 30, let's say I want to wait for price on the next candle after a bearish Kangaroo Tail prints, such as this one here. I want to wait for price on the next candle to drop by 15 pips before it enters the trade for me. So I would put 150 right there, and this will have to be adjusted depending on what pairs you're trading. So for example, right here, let's say you enter a short on the Google stock. We can see here the spread is about 20 pips. So if I was on Google there, I would want to do 20 pips like that, and then add a few more pips after that just to confirm that price is going in the direction we want. So maybe I do 25 pips instead of 20. That is an example. But let's say you are on something like Euro USD, and the stop loss is only 1 pip. We put in 10, but let's say you want to have a couple pips after that. We could say we want it to go 2.5 pips. So we put 25 right there for 2.5 pips, and vice versa for whatever pair you are using. So first step, factor in the spread, and then put a couple pips after that to factor in the movement of the buffer you would like to see on the next candle before the trade enters. Now for the stop loss and points, you're going to want to do the same thing. You're going to find out what is the spread. So for US 30, I would do the stop loss at least 10 pips. But if I want a little bit of a buffer, like I said, I would put in 150. So that is 15 pips. 10 pip spread plus a 5 pip buffer for the stop loss. Now, for a take profit management, we could either choose take profit based on the ATR of a candle size, or take profit based on a risk reward, or take profit on a fixed number of pips you would like to catch. So for US30, let's say you entered and you had a stop loss at 150 pips, but you wanted to get a 1 to 10 risk to reward. You could set this up for 1500 pips, just like that. And for 1500 pips, we would put in the number 15,000 in points. But let's say you want to keep it simple. We keep that at 0, and we want to do our take profit based on risk to reward. So here, the default is set on a 1 to a 1.5 risk to reward ratio, but I would recommend having this on at least 2 or 3 risk to reward if you choose to use this way. Or maybe you want to have a runner and you just do a big number like 20 and you'll check it in the morning or whenever you get back to your computer. But if you actually want it to catch trades for you and close it, set it on at least 2 or 3. Set it on at least 2 or 3, 1 to 3 risk to reward, perfect like that. Now, down here under the time management, you can decide to have this on true or false. If you have it on true, you can actually input which time frames you want the EA to be running. So let's say I want to catch a couple hours of the London session, but I'm going to be sleeping. So I'm going to put in a couple hours here. We'll do 13 and I'll have that end about the time I get on stream, which would be about 6 o'clock a.m. Pacific. So now here I have this running for 3 hours while I'm sleeping before I get on stream. Very handy to do that because there are certain times where you just do not want this EA to be running, such as during the Sydney Open, because we know that is a dead zone for kangaroos to usually show up. Now, for our risk management, we can either choose to do a fixed lot size or a risk percent. Personally, for me, I think doing a risk percent is the right move to do, and I usually like to risk 1.25% on trades or even lower to 1%. But here you can choose how muchever risk percent you want to have, and the Kangaroo Tail EA will precisely enter a trade and it will calculate what lot size it should be using for your account size. Or you can choose to use a fixed lot size, such as 1 micro lot or whatever, and then here you have the option to use levels. So the EA will recognize if a certain pair is on a weekly level, a daily level, or a 4-hour level. So you could program it to have a second confirmation to enter, and it's just not going to enter based on a single Kangaroo Tail. But for me to get more trades, I usually just have this on false. But hey, you're going to have to play with this and find what works for you. Also under here, under the indices, if your symbol for S&P 500 is not US 500, such as SPX on Osprey, you would simply just put an SPX 500 right there. Same thing with NASDAQ. If the symbol is different, just change it and click the save button and click OK. And also, when you have this EA on your chart, you're going to want to look in the upper right hand corner and make sure the smiley face is on. If the smiley face is not on, this is what you're going to do. You're going to come over here to Tools, you're going to click on Options, and you're going to want to come over here to Expert Advisors and make sure you have the checkbox that says Allow Automated Trading. Once you have that on, click OK and make sure the face in the upper right hand corner has a smiley face on it. That's how you know that the EA is going to be running and you're going to be set. So everyone, that is all I have for you in this video. There is tons of customization options that you can do for the Kangaroo Tail EA robot, and I would personally use this strictly for an entry EA. What I mean is you want to catch some big runners when you're away from your computer for a couple hours. You don't want to rely on this 100% for you to trade yourself because there are so many variables when it comes to trading Kangaroo Tails. And for each specific instrument, you're going to have to connect all those variables together. You're going to have to factor in the spread for different instruments, and you're going to have to be careful if there's any variation of the spread amounts. Like certain brokers may have a spread showing on S&P 500 at 2 pips, and then suddenly it might spike to 20 pips. So you got to be careful with that. And if that happens, you might be getting stopped out of trades a little too soon, and you might be wondering, but you definitely want to make sure you are programming this EA for different instruments. You're not going to want to have the same settings for US30 and then have the same settings on NASDAQ 100 or something like that. But anyways, that's all I have for you on this video. If you have any questions, drop some comments. And check out all of the links down below in the video description. And do not forget to sign up for the kangaroohunter.com website. It's completely free. Go ahead, join it, and watch my Kangaroo Tail Trading School video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great rest of the day.